Danny here from Reno Mentor, and today I want to let you in on some renovation truths. Now, stick with me. It's a bit negative at the start, but I'm going to come through with something really exciting towards the end. So, what are these truths? As most of you probably already know from me, I rave on about this statistic a lot. If you haven't, basically what it is that there's been published data to say that nearly 50% of all Australian renovations go over budget. Most of these by 10% or more. That means that 1 in 2 of you that are watching this are going to be on the wrong side of this statistic. So you're going to be the one whose renovation goes over budget. Why do I think this happens? Now, these are things that I've come up with, and I'm going to be a bit harsh on them, but you need to understand my reasoning. The first one is you don't have enough knowledge of renovating. Now, I say that in the nicest way possible, but what you have to understand is that renovating and being a builder is a profession. It took me a university degree plus 4 years of on-site experience before I could apply even for a part of my builder's license. So deciding one day that you just want to become a builder without having the proper knowledge is probably just going to get you into trouble. So that's the reason I say that first one, not having enough knowledge. The best thing about this is you can always increase your knowledge, and there's so many awesome resources out there. Stick with me to the end and I'll show you one of those resources. Number 2, you don't spend enough time planning. What's that saying? I always get it wrong, that piss poor performance comes from bad piss planning, or whatever it is. You guys know what I'm talking about. But basically, planning in construction is the most important stage. It's the time when you can get all your ducks in a row and you can deliver this thing how it was meant to be delivered. I always say to my clients in my construction company, the longer you can give me up front before I start on site, the better I can be with my cost control, the better I can be with my timing of delivery, and basically the smoother the project will run. So spend your time up front and it pays off in the beginning. You'll see a little quote that I'll talk about throughout this a bit, and it's that you never build a house without having poor foundations. So remember that the planning phase is your foundations. Building the house is after the planning phase and the construction phase. If that makes sense, right? The third thing is you don't understand exactly what you want delivered. Now, stick with me here. What I'm getting at is that it's all well and good to say, I want a bathroom and I want 300 by 600 tiles on the wall and I want this toilet. But there are so many other little things that we don't think about that can cost you money throughout the process, can cost you money at the end, or can mean that you get delivered a product that you're just not happy with. So if we use tiling for an example, you say you want 300 by 600 tiles. That's great. You say you want these black ones from Beaumont or whatever you want. But there's more to it than just that. How do you want those tiles laid on the wall? Do you want them in brick bond format? Do you want them in stack format? Do you want them horizontally, vertically? What color grout do you want? What angles are you going to use? What color silicone are you going to use? There are so many things that goes into that one trade, and I only just touched on the surface there. But if there are things that you don't think about and you get halfway through construction, or your tiler's finished tiling and then he comes to you and he says, oh, by the way, I just thought you'd probably want these stacked in stack bond format, so I went ahead with that. You walk into the room and you're thinking, I wanted these in brick bond. Or he gets there and he's done them in brick bond, which you're happy with, but then drops a bomb on you. You need to tell me what grout color you want, and I want to get that done this afternoon. So you have to rack your brain. You have to go, oh, do I want white? Do I want grey? Do I want brown? What do I want? What do I want? You decide on white, but then down the track, you wish you'd gone with grey because white can get dirty. So these are the things that I talk about, that if you know exactly and you plan them up front, you're not going to get bitten at the end. What's the fourth thing? Well, the fourth thing is that you don't have an accurate or achievable budget. So two different things, not three, two different things, but both equally important. When I say achievable, I normally mean, well, what I'm saying there is that you say, I want to spend $100,000 on my renovation. But that $100,000 doesn't have any backing behind it. You chose that number because Bob and Cheryl at the last street barbecue told you that their renovation cost $100,000. You liked it. You've got a similar size house, so therefore yours should cost $100,000. It doesn't work that way. you need to accurately price your own renovation, whether you do that yourself, you get a professional, or you get a builder to submit a quote for it, but you need to price it. So you need to say to yourself, all right, this is what my renovation is going to cost me, and now, is that achievable? Do I think that there's going to be extra things in that may cost me money? Am I just being too optimistic about this? Do I think that I won't find damage to my internal framing when I know that I actually might? The house is 70 years old. Do I really think the wiring is going to be right? If I'm spending all this money on my renovation, do I want to rewire the house? These are all the things that I'm talking about, and a big problem when it comes to not delivering your renovation how it should be. The fifth thing is that you don't track your budget. You don't track your money in versus your money out. I'll give you a quick example of this. Let's say you had a budget and agreed contract of $10,000 with your electrician, but that was for all the labour and supplying only the lights. Now, you've gone out halfway through the process, you've chosen different lights, you've also asked them to include PowerPoints. They've also come to you and said, oh, hey, we need to put a new switchboard in, so you've agreed to that. They've also come to you and said, oh, I think you're going to want a few more lights than what we actually allowed for. So all of a sudden, we've just gone through 4 different things there, and you're supposed to keep those costs in your head. Meanwhile, the electrician's submitting his invoicing through every week. You're paying it. How much have you paid to date? How much is still owing? If you don't know that, you're going to blow your budget. That's the long and the short of it. Unfortunately, that's not the end of the problem. It actually gets a little bit worse. Of the nearly 2,000 people that were surveyed, close to 50% said they went over budget. I don't believe this statistic for a second. Notice I said close to 50% said they went over budget. I firmly believe, and it is scientifically proven, that it's human nature that we lie about statistics. According to news.com, 52% of Australians will lie about their level of debt. When you speak to Bob and Cheryl at the barbecue and they tell you it costs you $100,000, do you believe them? Really, really, really believe them? They probably use terms like about $100,000. Well, what does about mean? Does that mean it was 110? Does that mean it was 120? We're just rounding it down to the nearest 100. It's probably more like it was 120,000. But we like to tell ourselves that we did it for cheaper than what it actually cost. We don't like to admit to ourselves or our friends that it might have cost more than what we allowed, that we somehow failed. I guess it's like a gambler. If you said to a gambler, how much money have you lost? They're probably going to say to you, oh, I've lost about $10,000. Meanwhile, we really know that they haven't properly kept track of that, and it's likely far higher. The last thing I want to go on about this, from my research, so this is talking to many people in this industry, many of the renovators, many of the people in my Facebook group, I think that statistic is closer to 75% rather than 50%. When you get to the nitty gritty of it, did you actually go over budget, yes or no, no lying? I think it's closer to 75%. So what that means is that 3 out of 4 of you are going to go over budget on your renovation. Most of that by 10% or more. Do you have the money to pay for this cost overrun? $200,000 job, 10% over, let's call it $20,000 just for rough figures. That's a car, that's a holiday. It's another bathroom. There's plenty of things you could spend that extra 20 on. Do you even have that extra 20 to spend? These are all things that you've got to consider before starting your renovation. So, lucky for you, I have a solution so that you don't have to be in that 75% of people. I call it the key to quality quotes. And the reason I'm calling it the key to quality quotes is because, like building a house, you have to start with the foundations. If you can start with gaining awesome quality quotes, and when I say quality, I mean are on scope, are the right price, the tradie knows exactly what he needs to do, he knows when he needs to do it, he knows what he's signing up for, you are building your foundations as strong as possible. If you don't do any of those things, if you get a verbal quote and you contract based on that verbal quote to the tiler and you say, I want my bathroom tiled, you're building your house on sand. You may be able to build it, it may stand for a period of time, but if you continue down that path, it's going to fall over. There's no doubt about that in my mind. So the key to quality quotes, what is it? You will discover how to ensure you get exactly what you want from your renovation. It's a step-by-step system that ensures you will not miss a thing. And how do I do that? Because basically it's a scoping document, or a recipe as I call it, for every single room of your house. So as an example, if we use the bathroom, we go into the tiling trade. Well, we look at the tiler and we go, what size tiles are you using? How do you want them laid? What colour grout do you want? What colour silicone do you want? What sort of angles do you want? Do you want mitered edges? How do you want your floor tiles laid out versus your wall tiles? All these things for every trade, for every room of your house are laid out in this document. It's also a roadmap for your trades so they understand exactly what you want. You'll no more be hearing, if you give them this document, oh, I didn't know you wanted to include that. Well, yes, I did want it included because here it is, clear as mud, written down, which I gave to you. Perfect. It's also a clear and concise overview of the inclusions of each room of your home. No more, well, I didn't know that was being moved. Well, you did because you clearly saw in my bedroom, it said that I was rebuilding the walk-in robe to be bigger. And Mr. Electrician, you're telling me that you didn't understand that if I'm removing that wall, I would have needed to move the PowerPoint? No. It doesn't work that way. Here's the document. Here's what I want delivered. Here's what you should be pricing. Perfect. What else does it include? Well, it's a system that can be used as the basis for your quoting. This is what it's all about, right? It's getting that foundation right. No more will you be getting overpriced quotes with hidden costs that aren't on scope. This is what you need. It's also a document that can form the basis of your agreement with your trades. When I say agreement, I'm saying a contract. I'll harp on to you guys about getting something in writing, something at least with your trades. The amount of times I've seen things go south and there's no contract in place, you will always be the person to lose out unless they have done something substantially wrong. The other things, it's a way to ensure that you know that all trades know what's going on outside of their work. So, like I said earlier with the electrician, he knows that wall's getting removed, so he should know that he has to disconnect those PowerPoints before the wall's getting removed. So there'll be no more of that messy coordinating you as acting as potentially the builder, the renovator, will have to do. It also includes a detailed description of your expectations from a safety and a contract perspective, which I've included and designed to cover your butt a bit. So basically what these are, it's a full page of general clauses. Now, I'm not a lawyer, so I'm not offering any legal advice, and I do make the disclaimer that you should go out and get these checked by a legal professional, but I am just including these just so they're trigger points for things for you to think about, but also things that you should be asking your trades to do. And finally, it's a simple, easy to use way for you to become the expert that your renovation needs. You will learn so much from this document. You'll gain that knowledge you need. You'll control those costs. You'll deliver it on time. You will be the expert renovator in no time. I can guarantee it. Well, if you didn't know me already, I think you're probably asking yourself, who is this guy? Like, who's he to tell me that this is what I need? Who's he to tell me that these are the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 things that I do wrong about my renovation? Well, let me introduce myself. My name is Danny Petiona, and here's why I can make these promises to you and why I can identify these issues with the industry. I'm the owner of 2 companies. The first is a construction company. The second is a project management and quantity surveying company. And in total, I employ over 15 staff. I've grown my construction company, and this is my baby. I've grown it by more than 7,000%. When we first started the company, there was an investment made of $13,000, and I've grown that investment to now a company that turns over 7 figures of profit a year, all from renovating. That is what we do. We are a renovation builder. I've completed more than 300 renovation projects. In my career, I've completed more than 500 projects as a project manager, quantity surveyor, and a builder. Of those 300 projects that I've delivered as the builder in renovation, I've spent more than $15 million, and I consider that 15 million lessons that I've learned. As I spoke about, I've completed more than 500 separate projects, with the biggest one I worked on was a $300 million high-rise. I've got a real passion, I don't know if you can tell, but I've got a real passion for turning around the statistics in the renovation industry and helping Australian renovators to deliver their renovation dream. That might sound corny, but it is something that I've built my companies on. I've built them on the mantra of turning around this industry to turn it into a more positive, awesome experience where it's a win-win scenario for everyone. For too long, the building industry has been a rob Peter to pay Paul type industry. If I win, you lose. For me to lose, you've got to win. That sort of mentality has been dominating this industry for too long. And the reason I think I've had so much success in this industry is because I've set up the systems and I've taken this approach to everything that I do. For me, it's a win-win for everyone. If I can put food on my tradies' tables and they make their profit at the end of the day, they help me out, I make my profit, and then my client pays me and they get a great product at the end of the day. It's all an awesome cycle, and if it keeps functioning, we all win. Like I've said, I've got a proven system of delivery that's given me these 300 projects. I've built it over 300 projects. I actually calculated how many hours I've spent on this company, and it's coming up to 20,000 hours. I'm giving you 20,000 hours worth of information that I've condensed down into something that you all can use. This is not the first and last product. There's many more to come, but I thought this is an awesome bang for buck one that I can get out for you guys now. Something that I'm not totally proud of, but I think you guys should know it about me. I'm not here to hide anything. When I was an amateur renovator, I renovated a house, my house, and guess what? It went 13% over budget. It took longer than it should have, and I still wasn't that happy with it in the end. Look, like I say, it's not something that I'm proud of, but I see there's massive lesson learned, and it's something that you guys could really benefit from, is the fact that I've learned all these lessons and I've implemented it, and I don't want you guys to make the same mistakes that I did. The same principles that work for my construction company, like I've spoken about, can work for you. I'm giving you the information so that you know what these are, and then I'm allowing you to implement them. And I want you to implement them because they do work. Follow this process through thick and thin, and I tell you, it will work. So here's exactly what you get with the Key to Quality Quotes system. You get a step-by-step scoping document for every room of your house. That's bathroom, ensuite, laundry, separate toilet, lounge, living, dining, hallway, 5 bedrooms, a study, and your kitchen. I won't forget the biggest one. This all comes in a 49-page editable PDF, which can be downloaded now or after you purchase, and any time in the future. I'll leave that link with you. If you want to have a look at this in action, just go down the page a little bit further, and I've actually included a video which shows me running through the system. It includes a page of general contract clauses which give you some risk coverage should things go south. I'm also giving you my renovation roadmap, which is an awesome, it's about 9 or 10 pages, but it's basically a checklist for every stage of your renovation. Have I done this? Have I done this? If I haven't done this, well, I have to do it before I move on to the next step. Or if this isn't working, well, maybe I should go back up here to look at things before I keep going through. It is basically, like I say, it's a roadmap. If you want to get from A to B, A is starting your reno, B is delivering an awesome renovation dream, you need to follow this process. The other thing I want to give you is access to my exclusive, awesome Facebook group. We call it the Secrets of Renovation Success. It's relatively new. It's only been around since November. We're ticking on just about 500 members at this time, the 1st of January 2019, and it's growing. I've got something really, really special that I include in this group that is something different than anyone else offers. And what that is I call it no building bum steers. What are building bum steers? They're keyboard warriors that jump online that decide they know everything about renovation because they renovated their kitchen once, which was a flat pack that they bought from their friend who cut it down with a hacksaw to put it in their kitchen and it looks fantastic. No advice like that is allowed in my group. My group, my renovators group, is all about quality advice for you guys. It's all about saving your time, saving your money, giving you awesome design ideas. I've got specialists in flooring in there, specialists in painting, specialists in bathrooms. You got the questions, the specialists are going to answer it. Not the keyboard warrior that renovated one kitchen 5 years ago and now thinks that they're an awesome renovator that can make it on the block and win the block. So, act now. If you act now, you can get these bonuses. Bonus 1, it's a simplified system to track your budget during your renovation in an editable PDF format. So, I'll simplify that. It's a budget tracker, but it's an awesome little budget tracker that I've just put together. Super simple. I've got a more detailed budgeting system currently being built that's based on my budget tracking system that I use for my companies. This simplified version is a great little tool. If you just want a little bit of help managing a smaller renovation, this is a great little tool. I'm giving you guys that for free. When you hit the download now button, you'll get a copy of the Reno Roadmap, the keys to quality quotes, obviously. You'll also get this simplified budget tracker in Excel, all delivered to your inbox, plus you'll have a little address where you can go back and download them in the future. You're also going to get a substantial discount on this at the moment. Now, I'm only asking $37. If you don't think that this adds more than $37 worth of value to you and your renovation, then you probably shouldn't be taking or buying this system. I'm telling you, $37 is the price of a cheap floor waste from Bunnings. You will save far more than $37 by implementing this system. I think you're going to save 100 times that, to be honest. That's only $3,700, but on a $200,000 renovation, you could easily save that amount from this $37 investment. Now, the price is due to rise early 2019, so get in now and keep it at that $37. It's probably going to go up to $97 where I want it to sit because that's what this product's worth. I've already told you, I really believe it's worth at least $5,000 worth of savings for most renovations that I've encountered. Now, the final bonus, this is something super special. I've told you there's so many exciting things in the works for Reno Mentor. I won't get into everything in detail, but basically what I want to offer you guys, and I'm offering this till the end of January, is if you buy into this system now for $37, I'm going to give you a 20% discount code that you can use on any future Reno Mentor product that I release in 2019. There's a lot in the works. So guys, this is a huge deal for you because some of the products that I'm releasing, a 20% discount is going to be an awesome saving. But this whole Reno Mentor, I guess, system that I'm putting together is purely designed for you guys to benefit from, for you guys to gain massive value, to save costs, save time, to deliver a reno you can be proud of, that you don't have to stress about. You can look at it and just go, wow, that quality is awesome. That's what the Reno Mentor is all about. And that's what I'm offering is the 20% discount on all future products, which, like I say, it's going to be an awesome game changer. So keep with me. Act now before it's too late. I really think you guys are going to benefit massively from this. Get on board with the key to quality quotes. And remember, it's like building a house. You have to start with the foundations. If you don't get the foundations right, your house is going to fall over. Quoting is the foundations. I'm giving you the document that you can use for quoting. You can then use it for your contracts. You can use it to coordinate and manage the works. It's a one-stop shop for your scoping. Awesome. If you want to deliver a finished reno that's exactly how you intended it to be, if you want to complete your reno with money still left in your pocket, and you want to get back into your finished dream home as soon as you can, then take action now and claim your copy. Guys, thank you for listening. If you've got any questions, you can hit me up, danny@renomentor.com. I'd love to hear from you. In the meantime, buy the product. You will not regret it. Thanks.